Sawadee khap, my orangutan friends and Puan Puan Kuntai, and I just want to talk about the earthquake that happened last week. I was actually in this room that I'm in now, so I'm in work, and it was a very strange experience, and there's a couple of things I want to talk about to do with earthquakes that might not even occur to people. So it was 7.7 in Myanmar, Burma as we used to call it, and it was 5.5 here in Thailand. So I was in this room and I'm going to talk you through what happened, my experience, and some of the unusual things that basically happened during an earthquake. So one of the things that happened, well, before the earthquake really hit, there was some paper down here, and I went to pick up the paper and put it in the bin. Now, when I bent down like this to pick up the paper, I felt really nauseous. I felt like I was going to be sick, and I was kind of basically rocking from side to side because of the ground. Now, I thought it was me having a bit of a funny turn, because I'd bent down, you see. So anyway, I bent down, got the paper, put it in here, and then I stood up again, and I did feel a little bit strange. As I say, I felt like I was going to throw up. And you get motion sickness because the room's shaking and your brain is trying to cope with that, because obviously you don't know it's an earthquake. So apparently this is quite common, and I asked the students that I teach if they'd experienced that, and they put their hands up, and it was the majority of the class actually felt sick, which I find quite amazing, because I've never heard that before, that if you're in an earthquake you actually feel ill, you get motion sickness. When I stood up, it was like I was standing on a boat. I was kind of rocking from side to side, and I thought, right, okay, it's not me, it's something outside of me. And then I looked up at these lights here. Let me show you those. Okay, I was trying to get a sweet spot there where it's not flashing. There you go. So the lights here was swinging. Both sets of lights there were swinging from side to side quite violently, and that kind of indicated that this was a proper earthquake, because we've never been through an earthquake. I talked to a guy who's in his 60s, and he says he's never experienced anything like it in Thailand. It's not something that happens on a regular basis. These are the shoes that I was wearing at the time, and you can see that the sole has come away on both shoes. You see that? Now apparently that's something that can happen in an earthquake. The glue gets shaken violently and basically comes away. You can see the glue there. And the sole comes away from the shoes, and I didn't realise that until we were allowed to go back in the building and pick up our bags. So that's something that people don't think about, the soles coming off your shoes. Very weird. Now, it could be that we was outside and it was quite hot, but I've never had any problem with these shoes before, and they were fine when I went downstairs. They were fine when I was coming into school and in the room. And it was when I went downstairs, when the earthquake had occurred, that, well, actually it was when I came up to get the bag that I noticed that the soles had come off the shoes. So I'm not 100% saying that the earthquake caused that to happen. It has been known. It could have been that was outside in the heat, but the soles have been on the shoes in all kinds of situations and for longer in the heat, and I've never had any issues with it. Earthquake, the soles come off. So we went downstairs out of the school. Nobody knew what to do because we've never had an earthquake before. We've got a lockdown procedure, and we've got a procedure if there's a fire, where we basically all go out into the car park and meet up. Anyway, we went down onto the quad, what we call the quad, which is basically a football field downstairs, and I noticed those two lights across the way there swaying from side to side. They're not now, obviously, there's no earthquake at the moment, but they were swaying from side to side. So it was pretty scary. We had lots of children crying. Yeah. So my heart goes out to all the people who've lost loved ones in the earthquake, obviously. I think we were very, very lucky here in Thailand. It was an earthquake and it was pretty noticeable, but we all managed to get out. Nobody was injured in our school. And there was that one building that collapsed near Chatterchat Park. And they're looking into that, and it looks like it was mainly due to inferior quality products being used, like below standard rebar in the concrete and things like that. So maybe they're going to tighten up the building rules, I don't know. So anyway, as I say, my heart is out to all the people who've lost loved ones, construction workers and what have you in that area, and fingers crossed we don't get another one. Anyway, that's all from our man in Bangkok about the earthquake and my experience. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. It is, like I say, for me, it was very unpleasant. I felt quite ill as well while that was happening. And it is quite a stressful situation. Anyway, that's all from this video. See you in the next one. Bye.